It's just a hectic day of December 1999 in an office of daily newspaper Lahore. A journalist receives the heavy enclosed parcel. He thinks of it as something usual of a daily routine, but as soon he opens it, he's astounded to see the room filled with Polaroid photos of partially naked teenage kids. This is the story of Javed Iqbal, a serial killer who committed murders on the patron of American serial killer John Wayne Gacy. Just like Gacy, Javed also targeted young boys. Javed molested and killed 100 young boys, all between the age of 6 to 16. Javed Iqbal grew up in rather an affluent household, and he was sixth of 8 children. He attended college, and while he was still student, he started a steel recasting business taking money from his father. He lived in a villa his father had purchased for him. This is where he committed all those heinous and mind-numbing crimes. There are not many accounts of the kind of childhood Javed had. However, his brother tells in one of the later interviews that while growing up, he would often blackmail his parents of killing himself to get his ways. He took the share early from inheritance during the life of his parents and started spending it speedily for a lavish lifestyle he couldn't otherwise support on his own. And once a relative asked him, "What would you do when all the inheritance money ends?" he jokingly said, "I don't plan to live until the end of it." Only he wasn't joking. In a parcel received by the journalist Khabar Malik in an office of daily newspaper, a letter and a diary was also received along with the photos. In that letter, he confessed killing 100 young boys. The letter further said that he wanted to surrender, but he would only surrender to a journalist and not the police, because if he went to the police, his confession would never come out. An hour later, after having sent the parcel, he entered the newspaper office himself and surrendered like a scene straight out of movie 7 when serial killer John Doe surrenders. But Javed didn't say, "You are looking for me." He said, "I am Javed Iqbal, killer of 100 children." The diary sent along was his personal diary, which contained the gruesome details of the horrific murders he committed. He explained how he picked up kids from streets who were mostly homeless and beggars. These children were mostly runaways and orphans living on street who never had the experience of better things. He brought them home, gave them nice food, even took them outside to the movies or somewhere nice. He sometimes kept them with him for a few days before he murdered them. The diary further detailed what he did after he killed them. He dismembered the bodies into parts and threw them into the local Ravi river. But before he threw the body parts into the river, he would dissolve them in hydrochloric acid in a big barrel, and whatever left of the body parts would be thrown into the river. The acid did cost him 120 Pakistani rupees, which if adjusted for inflation and exchange rate would be only $3 today. The diary of Iqbal also revealed the exact date and time of each murder, and even told the amount of acid necessary to dispose of the bodies. Soon after, police raided his home and they were left utterly startled to see the crime scene. In one room, there were 2 acid barrels of human remains, and a note that said, "The bodies in the house have deliberately not been disposed, so that the authorities will find them." The walls of the house were covered in handwritten posters. One such poster elaborated his plan to commit suicide. It said, "Today, November 25, 1999, I have decided to commit suicide. Yesterday, I killed my employee Sajid and incinerated his body in the container so that he could be punished for theft and for disturbing me again and again. Now I can go to sleep in the depths of Ravi." It also had many other containers of acid, bundles of sleeping pills which he perhaps used to sedate children while he molested them. Some board games were also found which children might enjoy, and lots of empty bottles of mineral water. In the next coming days, his trial started. Despite his earlier confessions, he pleaded not guilty. He denied having murdered those kids and changed the story in the court that he did not actually kill them but saw them being killed. He claimed in a court that he was innocent and that the entire affair was an elaborate hoax to draw attention to the plight of runaway children from poor families. He earlier had said to journalists when surrendered, "I could have killed 500. This was not a problem. Money was not a problem, but pledge I had taken was of 100 children, and I never wanted to violate that." He later claimed that his earlier statements were made under duress. Prosecution produced 105 witnesses, including 73 members from the families of missing children. In the court, further light was thrown on the past criminal record of him. It turned out that he had sodomy charges against him in 1990. Further stories came out about his private life. His parents wanted him to get married, and whenever his parents showed him the pictures of girls to set an arranged marriage for him, he resisted their attempts. He finally agreed, but it was because he was attracted to a younger brother of that girl. The marriage lasted merely 3 months. It was also revealed how he opened a video game arcade where young kids would come to play. In there, he would often secretly put 100 Pakistani rupee note on floor, and when some boy would pick up, he would announce that everyone would be searched in a private room. In private room, he would make them strip off and he would touch and grope them. The day final decision came from the court, the whole country was on the edge of a seat. Courthouse was crowded and riots broke out in the streets. Judge Allah Bakhsh Ranja had the burden of whole country on his shoulders. The sentence awarded to him is believed to be the most unreal and weird sentence of all the times. Judge said that he be taken to the Pakistan monument in Lahore, where he will be hanged in front of the public. Then after he is brought down, his body will be cut into 100 pieces, one piece for each boy he killed. Then his body will be dissolved in the acid just like he did. It was a case of, as one journalist wrote, a life for a life, an eye for an eye, a nose for a nose, an ear for an ear, a tooth for a tooth, and equal wound for a wound. This never occurred because Constitution of Pakistan couldn't be stretched that much to allow that. However, it went down in the history as most unique and weird sentence given to anyone ever. His story came to the conclusion when he was found murdered in his cell. The jail authorities claimed that he had committed suicide, but the circumstantial evidence and condition of the body belied the official claim. He had written the letter to his lawyer which said, "I believe I am going to be murdered in jail." Autopsy also revealed that he was seriously beaten and had serious bruises. Theories suggest that he was severely beaten by the jail authorities, which led to his demise. For more animated documentaries, keep coming back or just subscribe.